Geminis, my loves, how are you guys? I hope that all is well. I hope that you guys are happy, healthy. I hope that this message reaches you in good faith and good life purpose. I'll say it like that. Thank you to everyone that's like, shared, subscribed. If you guys have followed or purchased a reading from me, if you've donated to my page, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I know that there's a million other readers you could be with, and if you're taking the time to just stop and listen to what it is that I have to say, I'm so grateful to have you here. Okay, I hope everyone is having a wonderful time. If it's your birth, season for Geminis, or if you have a birthday coming up, happy birthday in advance. I hope that you guys have a wonderful month. And we're just gonna get into it, okay? I laid these cards out because I just wanted to get a feel for them. I just did the Sagittarius reading, and yeah, it got a little in-depth. So if you guys have Sagittarius in your chart, or you're cross-watching for Sagittarius, you might want to go watch that. But yeah, we're just going to tap in. I just wanted to feel these cards out this time because I was getting an energy, a really very hard transition for someone or a group of people here in this energy. And I just wanted to clarify that I was seeing and feeling what I was feeling, okay? So let's just jump right into it, okay? I'm going to do this in two parts. Because, there's a collective here that's going through a change that's going to catapult you into a different path. But there's also a bunch of you here that's going through a change that's going to give you a new outlook on who you are, how people view you, and your life going forward, okay? So first of all, for those people that's going through a transition, right? You're trying to basically figure out who you are. A lot of you that watch me are within the ages of 18 and basically 44 years of age right now. I'm within the 30s, so I'm feeling that the 30 crew is who I'm speaking to right now. Some of you are saying, you know what, I'm tired of this facade of life. I'm tired of having to act for people. I'm tired of having to be a person that I'm not. I'm tired of having to put on a show, when that is not a part of my soul. That's not who I am. This could be in work. You guys could be at work and saying, you know what, yeah, I have to put that, that professional voice on, or I have to have that professional demeanor at work, or I have to move a certain way, and it kills me that I have to log in, that I have to do this, that I have to be phony, or that I have to, cackle at the little jokes that are floating around the office, or, people want me to be intertwined in certain things. And there's some of you that saying, I'm over it. And I totally understand, especially with the climate of the world and everything that's going on around us right now. That is not something that you are wishing to do or be. I get it, okay? So you're shedding your skin here, being the real you. This is going to bring you freedom, or you're craving freedom. You're craving the authenticity of who you are and saying, yes, this is who I am. I want to be unapologetically me. I don't care who knows it. I don't care who likes it, etc. This is what I want to do. I want to go forward. I want to have the courage to do this. For some of you, you're having to have the courage or find the courage within to stand in your authentic self, or to stand up for yourself in this lifetime, okay? We have a number 15 out here that could be significant, which turns into a 6. That's a real energy of not only, of closeness, of children, of nostalgia as well, of old things, or things that you're drawn to, or things that made sense to you in a certain lifetime, and they don't make sense right now, okay? So in other words, you could have said, hey, I have to move a certain way out here in this workforce, or I have to move a certain way with the people around me, and now, it just doesn't feel the same. I don't feel the same, and it's because you guys are shedding that shell of yourself that you've been. And Spirit is saying it's okay, and you're protected as you do that. In this card, we see a butterfly, okay, which means that you have the right to soar. You have the right to change. You have the right to bloom in whatever nature you feel that that's fit. A lot of you may have said, I can't do that, right? And true Gemini nature, you guys have probably been moving in two different realms in your life, right? You act one way at work or at school, and then once you get home, you're a totally different person around your loved ones and your friends. And some of you are saying, you know what, this is who I am, right? This is the season of me being me. You know, you take me or you leave me, right? And I get it. I totally understand, right? So with that energy, you know, let's see what this card is saying for you, besides what I'm seeing. And it says, congratulations on one of the true spiritual secrets. Your dazzling personality and your freedom of expression have the angelic world in awe of you. Your aura colors are bright and beautiful, and people around you can feel it, even if they can't quite put their finger on what they're experiencing. Not only is this benefiting you, but also you're setting an example for others to live their truth, right? So you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna live my truth, and I'm gonna motivate others to do the same, right? Or people are seeing you, and you are, you know, inadvertently motivating them to say, you know what, this is who I am. I want to move like that too. I want to be free. I want to be who I am. Okay. For some of you, I'm getting a real pull towards the LGBTIQ community. Okay. If you are in an alternative lifestyle, okay, so be it. That's who you are, right? And that should be celebrated. That should be something that you honor, something that you cherish within you. Absolutely. And then some of you may be saying, you know what, I have lived long enough. I don't want to, you know, be in the shell or the life that I'm currently in. I want to live authentically. And if that means that I'm coming out and I'm saying, hey, this is what I rock with, this is who I rock with, so be it, right? And congratulations to you. Really, it's very hard to do that, having the courage to stand up for yourself and either your religious beliefs or your relationship beliefs or your connections in life is not an easy thing to do out of judgment. You know, you fear the judgment of others, or you feel the detachment of others, and a lot of times you feel, you know, that people will not understand you. And, you know, I feel that someone here is saying, you know what, I don't crave people to understand me anymore. If they don't understand me, they don't have to. It is what it is. And I'm just so proud of you guys, you know, for getting to that sense of saying, this is who I am, and I'm unapologetic about it, you know, and this is really what you have to do. Now, point of view, you know, Geminis, right? You may have one part of you that's saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how people are going to feel. I don't know what's going to come about. I don't know, you know, how my life is going to change. I don't know what people will say to me. I don't know who's going to move forward with me or move away from me, etc. But Spirit is saying that you need to just stay in a state of gratitude, that all of the assistance and all of the guidance that you need will be awarded to you or will come to you, right? Understanding is not for you. Understanding is what other people's have to work out with themselves, because you don't need them to understand your life, okay? Only you need to understand your life, okay? Now, for some of you, if this is work related and you are saying, you know, I don't know if this new me is craving a new sense of career or doing something new, this could be, but Spirit is saying embrace that energy now, because you are changing, and it's okay to pick something else. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm grateful for this position. I'm very grateful to have, you know, the things that I have, but yes, it's no longer working out for me, and the changes that I need to make are the ones that I'm interested in doing now. You know, everyone's not going to understand, you know, that I need to make changes. And that's a thing, okay? Spirit wants you to know that you don't have to, be apologetic about you needing to do things in a way that matter to you. Listening to your inner voice. Thank you, Spirit. It says, thank you, angels, for guiding me through my inner voice. You guys, you know, you may keep this within. You may fight and fuss, or you may go through this inner turmoil that keeps you up, you know, late at night. You know, you're thinking, you know, what ifs. You know, a lot of anxiety is here as well, Geminis. You know, you may go through a lot of thought process, but Spirit is saying, why? Right? If you feel like something is for you, or if you feel like it's not for you, you have the right to make the changes in your life that you need to do. And no one needs to understand that besides you, right? I know that a lot of times, you know, when it comes to friends and family, you know, you do your best to try to make everyone happy. But up until this moment, I feel like you're making people more happy than you're happy, okay? This is the despair that I see in this card. It's almost like, you know, I've done my job at trying to make other people happy. Like, when am I going to be happy? When do I get to be happy? Spirit is saying now. Now is when you get to be happy, okay? For some of you, you may be in relationships where you feel like you haven't been able to be the real you, because you've had to maybe tiptoe around the other person. Or you could be in relationships where your family feel like this person is good for you, but you feel like this person is not, right? Or you feel like you want another type of person, and that's okay. That is your choice. And you need to really honor how you feel and sit in those feelings so that you can make the best decisions for yourself at this time, okay? A lot of times we may take people's point of view and we may internalize it to the point where we're no longer understanding how we actually feel, right? A lot of times we take other people's input and it corrupts us in a way to where we're not able to say, you know, this is how I truly feel. But it was not your original feeling. It was someone else's. And I want you to get to a place of understanding, discernment, and understanding that you do not have to take on or encompass anyone else's feelings in your life, okay? That's an absolute thing as well. Now, it says, congratulations on your ability to see the positive in all situations in your life. Your connection to the divine is powerful, and faith is strong. The angels are encouraging you to keep this positive momentum of a grateful heart in all aspects of your existence, right? But it can be difficult sometimes to see the positive in a situation that may be causing you great distress. That's just human. The message of this inverted card is that even in the darkest hour, there's always wisdom, strength, compassion, right? That can be raining down upon you from the divine. So try to disengage from the thoughts that are causing you anxiety by doing something that brings you joy, right? So staying in a sense of gratitude, staying in a sense of joy is what Spirit wants you to do. Not internalizing someone else's thoughts, someone else's feelings. That's not what Spirit wants you to do right now. That inner voice in your mind should be your intuition, yourself, your higher self speaking to you, God, source, Spirit only. Not taking into accord anybody else's words other than your own, okay? Now, living in your joy is what brings you happiness. What makes your soul smile? And that should be the only thing that you're thinking of at this time, okay? It says, thank you, angels, for supporting me as I follow my joy. For those of you that are going on an alternative path with your life, right? If that brings you joy, have at it, okay? I'll say it again. You know, you deserve to live a life that is authentically yours, and it doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. And if this means that you need to stand up for yourself, right? For those of you that's dealing with work situations, relationships that are not working out, etc., friendships that have, have expired, that, you're holding on to for too long, etc. This is where Spirit is saying it's time to release. It's time to get to a place of saying, you know what, enough is enough. I've done this. This has not been what I needed to be. It doesn't feel good to my soul or my heart. And yeah, I'm going to exercise, my judgment and my discernment, and I'm going to move forward in whatever way that means, okay? Now, as you do this, right, with this turquoise energy coming out here, we have spiritual path. Spirit is saying, yeah, as you do this, you're going to be moving towards your spiritual path, right? Because you're getting more in alignment with your true self. And that's really what the divine wants you to do, okay? To tap in. For those of you that are very religious, God wants you to sit with God, right? Connect with God, right? What is your spiritual path? That is your divine connection, okay, to God. And this is where, you need to be. Understanding that you're unique, that you come with your own beautiful elements, and that's what I'll call them. No matter who you are, understanding that no matter who you are, all of those elements, they belong to you, for you to do what you need to do, and for you to complete what you need to complete with them in this lifetime, right? You are here as a soul that's on a divine mission, right? This mission is possibly, giving others happiness, helping others see that they can be happy, stuff of that nature. But can you really do that if you're not happy? Can you really do that if you're not standing in a place of being honest with yourself and allowing yourself to be happy? You have to really sit here with this energy, and you have to be honest with yourself. Honesty right now is what's going to be what gets you through to the other side. Honesty is your best friend at this time, Geminis, right? So finding ways of being your unique, happy self, whether it be changing the job, whether it be, expressing yourself in a different way, whether it be coming out for some of you, or being authentic, with your partners or your husbands or your wives or your bosses, etc. Whatever that is, your friends, and say, hey, I don't feel like we're friends anymore because of this, or I feel like, my life is changing and this no longer is okay for me. It's okay for you to do those things, and I just want you to know that, my loves, okay? So this is what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. If anyone needs a personal reading, please reach out. I'm always here. You can reach me at embracingmattress.com or embracingmattress@gmail.com for those of you that are interested. I send you all love and light. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for watching. And I will see you soon. Peace, love, and light.